Hey, welcome back to Ray's Toys and Collectibles. Today we're taking a look at the HasLab Ghostbusters Plasma Series Ectomobile. Now, this was available as a crowdfund in two different ways. Either as a standard version, which only included 3 figures and all the parts to make the Ectomobile Ecto 1 from the first movie, or is the deluxe set, which also included the 4 Ghostbusters with accessories from the second movie and all the parts, including a roof and stickers, to turn the Ecto 1 into Ecto 1A. Now, I've bought the deluxe edition, and yeah, you can see the pictures here. 2 boxes, there's a sleeve around it. It looks like a toolbox or a tool chest. Very nice details on it. Yeah, some very nice Easter eggs as well. Looks really nice. I'm not sure about the displayability of the box. I don't think it looks particularly nice to have it in the display, but yeah, that's of course up to the buyer. I just put it in storage and will enjoy these figures and also the vehicle. So yeah, nice box to look at, but yeah, not very nice to display in my opinion. Your opinion may of course vary. Now we're gonna take a look at the figures first, and we'll go from there. So here are the figures that come with the standard edition. You can see here the Library Ghost, also known as the Grey Lady, Slimer, and a really nice Louis Tully figure. So the first figure we're taking a look at is the Library Ghost, also known as the Grey Lady, or before her passing as Eleanor Twitty. Now, Eleanor Twitty was a librarian working for the New York Public Library until her demise in 1924. She met a man called Edmund Hoover. He was a part of a cult which also had Ivo Shandor in it, and they were looking for books. He was also referred to as the Collector, and they were using Eleanor to get the books they required. Sadly for her, she found out and she was killed. So yeah, sad. Now, not so sad for us is that this figure is really good. So, taking a closer look at Eleanor, she has a very nice head sculpt, nice arms, nice hands. Yeah, no legs, because she's a ghost. The stand is very nice as well, keeps her elevated. It isn't in there super secure, but yeah, she will stand. You can see her holding a book, which is actually Tobin's Spirit Guide, which is a really nice touch in my opinion. The book looks good. Unfortunately, there's no paint. Would have been nice if the letters were at least painted on, so you could see it a little better. But it's still nice, and you can have her post like this. But the book isn't super secure, so if her post on a shelf like this, it will stay in her hands, no problem. But as soon as you pick her up, move her around, be aware that that book might fall out of her hands. So take notice, and like show you right here, it will stay in her hands. It will not fall out of her hands, but if I were to shake her, that book will probably fall. But yeah, this figure does look really good. Some transparency to it. Very neat. And that stand, of course, nice. Now she does have a ton of articulation, but yeah, she's a ghost. She doesn't have any legs, so you can articulate at the shoulder. You can bend the elbow, rotate it as well, and then her hands can rotate, and there's also a joint so you can move her hand up and down at the wrist. So that's really good. And then the middle rotates. There's a slight bend to it, but not a lot. So yeah, you can pose her a little with the hand through mouth or like this. So there is definitely some posability, but yeah, you can't expect a hell of a lot because yeah, and you can see the book falls, but just because me moving her a lot. So then she also comes with a stack of books. Looks nice. Yeah, sadly the inside isn't painted, but yeah, it's still a nice accessory just to have it next to her. Next up is Slimer. And I've seen a few Slimer figures in my day, but yeah, this is the one. Figure looks amazing. Nice face, nice body sculpt, has a lot of detail. Just like the library ghost, not a lot of articulation, it's mostly in the arms here. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with any accessories apart from the stand, which looks really good. Would have been nice if he came with alternate hands, so you could have him hold something, maybe even give him a bottle or some type of food, drumstick or something in the lines of that, maybe a melon, at least something. But yeah, it's still a really good looking figure. Just turn him around. Look at him. Look at that butt. Damn. That's definitely a huge butt. So yeah, very nicely detailed. And again, not a lot of articulation. You can turn this around. Has a bend to it at the elbow, and then hands can rotate. It also has a joint here, so you can hold his belly, and maybe if you have something that you'd like him to hold, he can, because you can have his hand flat. You can maybe get something in here like a bottle or something from another set. But yeah, even though he doesn't come with any accessories, he looks fantastic. And here he is, the best figure out of the entire bunch. This is Louis Tully as seen in Ghostbusters 2. Now initially this was going to be an early bird exclusive for this HasLab campaign. We needed a certain amount of backers within a certain amount of time. It didn't look like we were going to make it, and we didn't make it. And people were really disappointed because they really liked this figure. So Hasbro came back to us, changed their minds, and told us that with every order this figure would be shipped out. And I'm very glad they did, because this figure just looks amazing. Just looking at that head sculpt, those glasses, that goofy expression, those earmuffs. This is Louis Tully, straight from the screen of Ghostbusters 2. This is Rick Moranis as he looked in that movie. Yeah, I can't say more about this. It just looks amazing. And that body sculpt looks great too. I'm not sure if it is reused. This is the first time I'm getting Plasma Series figures, so I can't be certain if this is reused from a previous figure, but it looks good. And he's a little smaller than the other Ghostbusters, so that's very nice. Now, what I can see is that that ghost strap, the PKE meter, which attaches to his belt, and the proton pack are reused. But that's not a bad thing, they look good. Also, that proton stream is reused, and it's a really good thing because every Ghostbuster comes with one now. And they've changed it a bit. That centerpiece, which used to be floppy in the past, I've seen it online, is a little sturdier now. Unfortunately, the neutrino wand is the same piece, so it's still a little softer plastic, which is a shame. But if you have the figure holding it near the nozzle of that piece, then you should be able to support it and it will look good. Now the negative about it is that this wire here, I wish it was a real rubber hose or maybe even a string, because this plastic is a little rigid, it's a little tough to work with. So if you want to articulate the figure, it kind of gets in the way. And if you want to put it on the gurney, the proton pack in the Ectomobile, it will also get in the way a bit. So yeah, we'll get into that a little later. But looking at Louis Tully in a little more detail, you can see he's wearing Egon's suit and probably also his gear. You can see the PKE meter here on the belt. It just plugs on. There's a small hole there. Now the other Ghostbusters do not have that hole in their belts. Their belts are different, but they can still hold the PKE meter. It looks pretty good, looks nice. Like I said, peg hole, just plug it in and it works nicely. Lewis also comes with a ghost trap. Very nicely detailed, very nicely painted. It's hollow. Does have a string, wire or pedal, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been nice if they also had a small pack so you could hang it here, but yep, it doesn't have it. Still looks nice though. Then if you look at the back, proton pack and all the figures is exactly the same, but it's yeah, it's very well sculpted. Some nice paint apps as well. Looks really good. Only difference I can see is that on this lower bit the paint app just shifts. That's a red light. And then the attachment is very easy. There's a pack going from the proton pack into the back of the figure, and then he has these straps. Now just plugs in. This figure has a little bit of a belly here, so does Ray stands, so it will not plug in as securely as on the others, but yeah, it's not gonna fall off, so I'm okay with it. And yeah, it does look really nice. See a hose here, very nicely done. And these figures do have the pins, but yeah, they feel nice and sturdy. So for articulation, and I'm going to show this on Louis Tully and Louis Tully alone because it's the same in all the figures. Just for ease I removed the neutrino wand. Just goes on here and the wire plugs in the bottom here. Heads can rotate up and down as this tilt. Arms can of course go out. Can go out a nice amount. Can also go back and forward 360 of course. Rotation here. Then the elbows are really nice. If this double joint, and if you get a little bit movement, you have to kind of work against the wrinkles in the suit, but if you do that, yeah, you can get a very nice amount of bend here, so that's really good. Then wrists can rotate, have this up and down hinge. Then the torso can rotate, have a crunch, it's also nice. Legs can go out nice amount and forwards very nicely. Back not as much because they get into the butt piece. Then also rotation here, which is also nice, and then you also have this double bend in the knee, and again, like the elbow, you have to kind of work around the wrinkles in the suit a bit, but yeah, it's a very nice amount of articulation here. So you should definitely be able to get all the Ghostbusters in the Ectomobile or post really nicely. Then the rotation here, up and down, and of course very Marvel Legend like, they have this tilt. So yeah, you can have them in a very wide pose as well. So yeah, the articulation on these figures is really good. Who are you gonna call? It's the Ghostbusters from the Ghostbusters 2 movie, and they look really sharp. Now they are reusing parts from the previous Plasma Series figures, but I'm okay with it. The head sculpts are completely new, proton packs are reused, they all come with a proton stream, which is really nice. The belts are completely new. Unfortunately, there's no peg hole, so you cannot attach a PKE meter to any of these figures, but they can still hold it. Now, these figures also share parts. If you look at these figures, then you can see that Ray stance is a little more firm, so he has a different torso. And if you look at Peter Venkman, instead of having the pants tucked away, he has them over the boots, so his lower legs are different. Up first is Egon Spengler, and you can see him standing next to Louis Tully, and you can see that Louis Tully is definitely a different body type, and I'm very glad that he is, because if he was the same size it just wouldn't work for me. And here is Egon compared to a Marvel Legends figure. This is Star-Lord from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 series, and you can see that Egon is a little bit smaller. Now Egon comes in at 6 inches and Star-Lord is 6.3 inches tall. And yeah, the funny thing is, I didn't notice up front, but when I picked this off the shelf, I thought it was a good comparison because he doesn't have any superhuman body mass, so it would be a good comparison next to Egon. And actually it's a perfect comparison because these actors are the same size in real life. So if these are 1/12 scale figures, they should be the same size, and as you can clearly see, Egon is smaller. So yeah, these Ghostbusters are not true 1/12 or 6-inch scale. Here we have Egon up close, and I think his head sculpt looks incredible. Yes, that grin on his face, that kind of reminds me of that courtroom scene. Egon! Yeah, this looks really good. Now the glasses, there's no plastic in them, you can't remove them. They're part of the sculpt, but they did it very nicely. You can see his eyes, you can see that grin here. Nicely sculpted hair as well. Yeah, I think he looks incredible. See, he also has the name tag on his chest. Very nicely done figure. Nice belt as well. Up next is Peter Venkman, Dana's Bane, and yeah, he looks very nice. The head sculpt is good, not as good as Egon's or Louis Tully's, but still very nice. You can see he has kind of that Richard look with his pants not tucked into the boots to show his rather rebellious nature. But yeah, he looks very nice. Then here we have Raymond Stantz, and we share a first name, and he looks good too. I think yeah, he's a little close to Dan Aykroyd than Venkman is to Bill Murray, but it's still not 100%. I think it's about 85, maybe 90%, but he looks nice. Little firmer torso than the other figures, but yeah, other than that, pretty much the same. Normally I'd say last but not least, but in this case I can't really say it, because this figure, this Winston Zedmore figure, yeah, the likeness is just not good. This is not Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters 2. This is Denzel Washington cosplaying as a Ghostbuster. Now, it's not a bad figure, but yeah, just the likeness isn't there. So, for the accessories, the set also comes with a nice mug and a balloon with Ghostbusters logo. I'll probably never have it on display because yeah, I'm really scared of losing it. Also included is the toaster with the slime on it. Looks very neat. Would have been nice if they put some extra paint apps on the top here to simulate the depth of the toaster. And one of the cooler accessories, this set also comes with 2 slime blowers with an added effect, and this looks really cool. Now it's a little bit of a hassle to put on the figure. I ended up taking his head off just to get it through, and yeah, I did make a discovery that there's a neck piece attached to the body, and then there's a double ball pack going into the head, so that's nice. And yeah, this does look very good. Again, it's a little fiddly if I only had one hand successfully on it. You can also get the other hand here, but yeah, I already spent too much time getting this vest on and getting those wires in. I didn't want to spend more time and it does look very, very neat. But yeah, it's a little fiddly, but if you have it on display, it looks really good. And as I said, comes with 2 of these. You can have him with it on, and yeah, whoever else you want, Ray, Egon, fits on all of them. So yeah, a very, very neat accessory. I really like this. And here's the true star of the show. This is the Ectomobile, and this vehicle looks beautiful. This is the vehicle I wanted in my collection ever since I seen the movie when I was a kid. And yeah, all other versions on the market right now don't compare to this one. Sculpting is top notch, there's interior and exterior detail, and the electronics just amazing. This is the perfect Ecto 1 vehicle. Now it's not so perfect are the stickers, they are reusable. You do get a few sets of them so you can mess up here and there. But I do get it, because it makes it easier to go from Ecto 1 to 1A. But maybe some switch out panels with magnets would have been better. But yeah, this is price wise the best choice they could make. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold it against them. If you get the standard version, the deluxe version, or both, once you put the stickers on, it will be fine and it will look really, really good. And both of these doors open up. You can also open the driver's side door, but yeah, the door on the other side of this one doesn't open. And you can of course also open the hatch on the back, so you can get the gurney in and out. Now this one just closes like this with no issue. This one is a little bit scary and tricky. What you have to do is, when you open it up, you have to pull it out, and you have to close it back up, press it in, and it should be able to close up. Now the hood also opens up. You have to pull it up a little tight, and there we go. And it has a very nice detailed engine in there. And yeah, I'm very impressed with this vehicle. They went all out on this one. So sadly there's a QC issue on mine. You can see a paint splotch right here at the front of the hood, and it's such an eyesore. Again, it's minor, but yeah, you should not get stuff like this on a HasLab premium item, premium price point. Hasbro, better quality control please. This is not good. Now I did contact them. They told me it should be easy to remove with rubbing alcohol. Well, I tried that, 80% rubbing alcohol. Also tried makeup remover and nail polish remover, and it's still here. You can still see that paint splotch. And I'm not sure if I should be using acetone, because I don't want to ruin the plastic, and I don't really want to paint it over because it won't match. If you see this and you know a way how to safely remove this paint, please comment down below. Hasbro customer support is not very good. They didn't help me at all. They basically told me they don't have replacement parts for the hood, which is kind of odd because I think it can be removed. They told me I could get a replacement, but it was a roof piece. Well, that doesn't really help me. And the other option I had was to return the entire box with all the figures and stuff, return it to them, and then they'll look into replacing it or give me a refund. Well, that doesn't really help me. You need to give guarantees, Hasbro. These need to be pristine right out of the box, definitely at the price point. So please step up, because this is not good. And the set also comes with a very nicely detailed gurney, and you can see the wheels at the bottom here. You can just open it up like so, and it will roll as well. Looks very, very nice. And you can load up the proton packs, and you just have these bits, and if you take one of the proton packs, you can just get the straps over it, and then there will be a tab at the bottom here, and it will just click onto the proton pack. You can also open up the back of the vehicle, and it looks very nice and detailed here as well. You can just take the gurney and load it in, and it will collapse as well, which is very nice. But yeah, an issue here, which I discussed before. This piece, it's a rigid plastic, the cable, and if this was an actual rubber hose or just a wire, it would not be a problem, because now it bumps into the roof. You can still make it work, you have to finesse it and finagle it a little bit, but the best way of getting this in the car with all the backpacks is just remove the roof, put it in, close it back up. And here's a look at the interior of the vehicle. I've got Egon in there, and he looks very nice and comfortable. There's enough in there for all Ghostbusters. You can also see the gurney with one of the proton packs. And what's cool is that you have this chair here, and you can just unfold it, and yeah, I have seating arrangements for all the Ghostbusters. Going into the electronics, there are two buttons. One on the left side of the vehicle is for the sounds, and the right side is for the lights. Just gonna press the left side button, and you can hear the engine revving up, and it fails from time to time, and that's really funny. And yeah, this is intentional. This is not an error with the vehicle. They've made it like this, and it kind of reminds me of the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars, trying to make the jump to light speed and failing. So I'm pressing it again, keeping it pressed down, and it should start up. And then if I go on the other button and just press it, it will bring on the light, and you can press it several times and it will go through different light options. And I have all the lights on right now, and it looks very nice. And if I press the button for the sounds, and you can also press and hold them at the same time, and then it will bring you directly to this mode. And if you hold the right side button of the vehicle, that is, for a couple seconds, everything will turn off. And this looks so good, and it sounds great too. Just taking a look at the roof, the lights are so nicely done. See some lights flickering, other lights have this nice effect as if they are rotating. Yeah, so good. I'm very impressed by this. Taking a look at the back, rear tail lights also work, and you can also see that these lights work, and you can see that the rotating effect yet again. Yeah, this vehicle just looks amazing. And here we have the Ectomobile in the 1A configuration. It comes with a number of parts that you have to exchange. It also comes with a sticker sheet. Very nice. It's a lot of stickers. And then for the dot matrix display, you can pick whatever you like. You can just peel it off here and then slide it in. And if you have like a plastic window from a packaging that you're going to throw away, just cut it to size. You can put numbers on there, lettering on there. You can slide it on in here. So you have some customization, which is really nice. And the parts go on very easily. You have the roof with all those lights and parts. You can just slide in. You have the back bumper you have to replace for this nice red bumper. And then of course the wheels, the hubcaps are also different, and they look really good. And then on the front an extra light is added. You can just pull off that small bumper piece and replace it with this one with the light on it. Now, a nitpick I have here is I wish that part was a little larger and also included that license plate, because that way you wouldn't have to peel off that particular sticker. That just would have been a little easier to go from the 1 to the 1A and back again. And here's a look at the Ecto 1A roof, and you can see, yeah, it's like a Christmas tree. So many lights, and it all looks really good. And taking a look at the front, you can see the extra light there. Very neat. I'm really loving this. Another quick look at the dot matrix sign, and then this is also really cool. This reminds me of Knight Rider. So nice. Yeah, it's a really great piece. The designers at Hasbro really did an amazing job with this. So nice. And here's a last look at the set, and I think this is an amazing set. The car, the design, the look, the detail, interior, exterior, it just looks amazing. This is a perfect Ectomobile. This is the best one on the market right now. When I first saw the movie, this is the toy I wanted, and I finally have it now. I don't know if this is the first time on this channel, but this gets a 10 out of 10 from me. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, you really need to get this. At least one. Maybe two if you have the room for it and you really want to have Ecto 1 and Ecto 1A. Yeah, double dip on this. You get so much stuff. It looks so good. This is Ray from Ray's Toys and Collectibles. Please feel free to comment, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Until next time.